This is Keith Boggs with Stonebriar Property Inspections, and this is the video debrief for 7135 Van Hook Drive in Dallas. I'm going to go ahead and cover all the items here. I've got about 150 items here. That does not mean there's 150 defects in the house. Some of these are just for talking points, some of them for my own personal use. They will all be in this recording right here. They will not all be in the report. The report will just contain things that you want the sellers to take action on. So of the 150 photos, there'll probably still be a lot in the report, probably 100 or so, but not all of them. So first picture C here is just a picture of the front of the house. Nothing necessarily wrong. This is just for the title page of the report. This is the approximate direction the house is facing, so it's just about directly south. This is the temperature at the time of the inspection, which was 45. It never really got up. I don't think we even got to 50 when I was there, but stayed pretty cold. So we were able to test the heat, but we're not able to test the air conditioning because it has to be above 60 degrees to test the air conditioning. But the heat was tested, and I've got some information later on that. This is your meter. This little red, you can't really see here, this little red star thing here, that's called a low flow indicator. So one of the first things that we do when we get to the house is we check the low flow indicator to see if there's any kind of supply leaks going on, to make sure there's no kind of leaks in the structure. And so I've got a little short video here, about 20 seconds long, and so basically we just stand there and stare at that little dial for a minute or two. This is just to show that I did check for supply leaks, and there was no movement, so therefore there were no supply leaks. So this would be spinning around, this little red thing there would be normally spinning around if there was any kind of water flowing. And again, this would be in the recording, but not in the report. Okay, this is where the water meter is located, right out here by the front curb. This is when I was getting on the roof. I noticed that there's quite a few missing window screens. So both of these dormers are missing window screens. Two doors, the two windows to the right and left of the door, front door are missing screens. Left window up front's missing screens, and there's some other screens missing around the structure. So pretty small thing, but just one of the things the state requires we call out any kind of deficiencies in windows or window screens. So that will be in the report. That's just a picture of the different areas. I'll circle these and when I do the report to show the locations of them. But there's still several more, again, windows that are missing screens. Okay, so this is one of the things that people always ask me about is, the roof cover. They want to know the condition of the roof cover. So what I started doing is I now take little short videos after I do the roof inspection of the roof cover. This one's about 3 minutes long, so we're going to play it. You can see all the different areas that I looked at, and you'll see the condition of the roof cover. It may get a little wobbly at some point because I'm on a roof trying to walk around and film at the same time, but I'll go ahead and play this. So we got this for the recording. Roof cover looks fairly new. I didn't really see any signs of any kind of aging. Appears to be in pretty good condition. We'll see here in a second a metal roof vent that's got some hail damage to it. So has hail damage to the roof, the previous roof. That's just cosmetic right there. About halfway through. Okay, that's it for the roof. You've got 3 condensers at the house. These are 2 condensers over on the east side. First condenser, they're both carriers, but the one up front there, the manufacturer's label has been removed, so I could not make out any of the manufacturer's information. So one of the things that I did was check the breakers on the panel box, and so I can't do that. But that label's missing. This is the other one to the right, the back one, and that's got a 30 amp max breaker. That label's present. This is your one of your junction boxes for your, or disconnect boxes for your air conditioning, and it's loose on the wall. I've shown you I can jiggle it, so that needs to be secured to the wall. We don't want any electricity or anything with electricity flowing through it being loose. That's just where they're located. This is a little bit of wood rot over on the, I believe this was the southwest or northwest. I'll see in a second. Actually, by the condensers. Okay, so right up in here, and I'll circle this stuff and put arrows pointing at it. A little bit of wood rot there. That's really the only exterior wood rot that I saw. This is a loose soldier brick by the garden window, or by the bay window here. So that brick needs to be pushed back in place. There's a little bit of wood rot around the window trim at that bay window on the west side. Same thing here. It's basically down here trim, and right here trim needs to be replaced, not repaired. This is high soil. You've got quite a few locations around the perimeter of the structure where there's high soil and some heavy vegetation. Now, if I did do a termite report, I did not see any termites, so I will include a 1-year termite warranty. However, if you're doing a VA loan or FHA loan, and they get this termite report, they're going to see these conducive conditions, and they're going to want those conditions removed or remediated, or they won't fund the loan. If you're doing a conventional loan or you're paying cash, then this won't matter. Same thing, just high soil, high vegetation, heavy vegetation. That's the 2 sections on the right and the left, or the left and the right. It looks like there's been some past foundation work. I can see that because of the aggregate stone here. You can see a different coloration here. So it looks like there's been several pier patches up front on the front of the house here. 3 or 4 of them I can see. So it looks like there's been some past foundation work that has been done. So you just want to verify with the sellers. The inspector said that it looks like there's some past foundation work, and you want to know any information about that. So you want to collect all that data, any information about the foundation, any warranties, that kind of stuff. This is really the only structural crack that I really saw of any, not really significant, just inside the mortar joint. That's at a front window up here, very minor. So the movement I saw in the house is very minor. Really, I don't know if they even needed the foundation work to begin with, but they did. If they did it, that's great. This is where your 2 front cleanouts are located. They're almost buried under the cover, under the grass cover or the ground cover. Those are located right up front here. So one day if you need to find them, that's where they're located up front. This is your other condenser. Very badly hail damaged. There was only 2 furnaces, and there was 3 condensers. I didn't see a 3rd heating unit. So this may be an unoperable unit. It may just be these and the other 2, although they do have 3 thermostats in there. So we just want to have them verify the condition of this condenser on the east side, and probably just do an evaluation of the air conditioning and heating system. That's the manufacturer's label. This is a filter dryer at that unit, and you can see it's starting to rust and deteriorate, so that filter dryer should be replaced. This is some moisture inside the mortar joints here below a spigot on the east side there. I did have this styrofoam cover on it to keep it from freezing. At first I thought it was maybe a leak inside the wall, a drip leak, but this spigot was dripping a little bit into this styrofoam thing with a sponge on it. I'm just wondering if that was just through capillary attraction that got wet and was touching the veneer, which caused the veneer to get wet. So at first I thought there may have been a leak there, but again there was no movement at the low flow indicator, so I think it was just probably that drip coming off of that spigot. This is a secondary drain line coming off the air conditioning, and it should be pointing down, 90 degrees down. So this is more high ground cover, heavy vegetation. Same thing here, heavy vegetation. So the inside of the garage, you're going to see a comment in the report just stating that there was basically many things in the garage, and there's things I can't see behind. I can't see behind the cork board here. Anything that's covering the wall really kind of impedes my ability to inspect the interior walls. So several areas are covered by Here you can see the shelving and boxes. So I just want to verify with the sellers. The inspector said he couldn't inspect everything in the garage. Is there anything hidden behind these shelves or anything hidden in the garage that you need to be made aware of? Okay, these are your two panel boxes. They're both what are called Federal Pacific type panel boxes, both of them. And these panel boxes are from a family of different panel boxes: Federal Pacific, Magnetrip, Sylvania, several other ones, about 5 or 6 other ones. These have had a history of overheating and causing fires. Now on this label you can see a few dark spots here, which show some heating of the breakers. Just saying there's 2 of them. Now you can see this pretty badly scorched paper here. So it looks like at some point that left panel box has gotten hot, is getting hot, or has gotten hot. So there's some signs of something going on here just by this scorched paper here. Paper is also very, very brittle right now, so it shows that it's been getting hot. So both of the panel boxes is probably the biggest thing in the house you're going to have to deal with. Both of the panel boxes are going to likely need to be replaced, but they'll need to be evaluated by an electrician first, just to make sure that they do need to be replaced. This is one of your garage door openers, and they've got it plugged into an extension cord. You're not allowed to have anything that's permanently affixed plugged into an extension cord. People do this all the time, but it could avoid any warranty on this opener, because this is supposed to be plugged in into electricity no farther than the length of the manufacturer's cord. That's why it's a certain length. Okay, this is a water heater that you have in the garage. You've also got one inside the structure. I think they're both about 10 years old, or 7 years old. Okay, 8 years old. Both appear to be in pretty good condition. There's a couple things to talk about here. One thing is the drain pan is plumbed here. It's plumbed inside the garage, and this water heater particularly does not sit over the garage floor. It sits over the foundation floor. So if it leaks, it could get into the structure. So therefore, we're supposed to call it out for the state to have this either have it plumbed to the exterior, or they can put a float switch on there. And then one of the connections, the cold water connection, has got corrosion on it. There's a little cracking inside the garage above a couple doors here. That door, nothing structurally significant. This is the door, the little doggy door going from the garage to the structure. So this door and this wall is a firewall, and putting a doggy door in here compromises its fire rating. So this door needs to be switched out to a normal door. And then here you've got the dryer vent terminating into the garage, which they can't do today. But also this wall is a firewall, and having a hole in it compromises its fire rating. This is what a lot of people do when they have this kind of termination here back in this day. Doggy doors are also pretty normal, but they both would not make the code of the day. This is the water pressure of the house. So the range for the water pressure is 40 to 80. So you can see you're about 65. That should be fine for the size house. This is a couple of testing of the garage doors. So there's a couple of tests. We do a pressure reverse test to see if the garage reverses when you grab it to open it. And then we do a test of electronic eye. We do that on both doors. So I'm going to go ahead and play this recording so you've got it. And so you'll see me start the door, and then I'll reach over there and try to grab it and put pressure on it to get it to reverse. And it should, with a little bit of pressure, reverse. That one reversed fine. Next test you'll see is I'll be walking back to the door after I push the button, and I'll put my foot in front of the electronic eye down low, and just to show that the electronic eye does work. So there's the foot, and then the door did reverse. You'll see that next test, the same test of the two-bay garage. You see one of the reverse with very little pressure. Okay, this is your second water heater, which is located inside the structure. Again, it doesn't have a drain pan at all, but regardless, it's inside the structure. So when it leaks, if water could occur, then it's required to be called out for a drain pan. and exterior termination, or a pan and a float switch. This is also 8-year-old. So got them both about the same time. There you can see it sitting on the floor inside the structure. That's where that second water is located, in that little closet by the master bedroom. Okay, so the first bathroom you come to in the master, the first bathroom, that outlet is very loose in the wall. This outlet needs to be tightened up. This is inside the shower. Several of the showers need some caulking or sealant at some of these caulk joints. So this shower right along here needs a good, either some recaulking or some type of clear sealant on there. This is under one of the sinks, and they're not allowed to use this corrugated piece. There should be a rigid piece like you see down here. So that can cause slow drainage and lead to leaks. Pretty common thing with people that don't really know that much about installing plumbing. And that's the sink it's at. This is in the other. Let's at the tub. Okay, so again you can see the cracking here. Same thing on this other side. Oops, back up. So you need to caulk around here, there, up the wall a little bit, back here, up the wall a little bit, back here. Just caulk up around there. This is the window to the right of the master bedroom door, patio door, and the lock is missing or broken. So that needs a new lock on it. This is the fireplace in the master, just showing that it does work. This is the fireplace in the living room, showing that it does work. This is your microwave. So in the kitchen stuff here, this is showing some testing of different things. This is showing the microwave being tested. It did heat. This is the cooktop, which is upside down. Okay, that's showing the cooktop on, and then I've got some readings here of the burners, just showing that all the burners do heat right. Okay, these are your double ovens. So both are set to 350. The top oven heated to right about 350, and then the bottom oven never quite got. It got to a little bit over 300, a little bit below 325. So the range is 325 to 375. So with two ovens, maybe this never got used, this oven, but it does need to be adjusted if you're going to be using it, especially if you cook anything that's temperature sensitive. This is the dishwasher. This is me testing the dishwasher. We're looking for temperatures between 120 and 150, no higher than 150. So we got a 142 right here, and you can't see that's a 135. So the dishwasher was heating good. This is under the sink. I did test the disposal. It did work. Filled up both the sinks and drained them at the same time I ran the disposal, and did not see any leaks. This is it's also flipped around. This is a sink downspout, or sink drain stop that's not operational. So that's the first floor guest bathroom. That drain stop, you can't pull that rod and get it to come up and down. This is inside the shower at the first floor guest room. You can see there's some cracking at that caulking, so they need to recaulk or seal inside of these grout joints. It's basically along here and along here. The reason I took a picture of the smoke detector, looks to be very old. Also, the bedrooms did not have smoke detectors, so any detector that's over 10 years old, it should be replaced whether it works or not, because they could become defective. So you need to put new smoke alarms in the house. This is a gas valve behind the clothes dryer in the utility room, and you can't tell it, but this gas valve is not capped off. So if it's not connected to an appliance, it needs to be capped off so the valve doesn't accidentally get turned on and cause a safety problem. That's something you can get at Home Depot for probably $1 or $2. That's just where it's located. This is your first unit in the attic. It's a train. This is your hot gas vent, and it's become disconnected. So it's now, when the furnace is running, it's pumping carbon monoxide into the attic area. So that could eventually get into the structure, make people sick. So they need to reconnect that V vent. The filter, it's a 4-inch filter, and it's very dirty. This is actually a video of the furnace running. Not the clearest, because there was kind of a tight spot up there. A little difficult with the camera. I could get in there without the camera and take a look at those burners, and they looked fine. The furnace appeared to be working fine. Insulation in the attic, it does appear to be a little low. It looks like original insulation is probably just gravity all these years has pushed that insulation down low. So insulation is a little low. That's the location of that unit. Here's when I came back to the oven a second time, and again you can see it never really got even to 325. That's the lower oven. This is a leak at the shower, right up in here. That needs to be repaired. This is your second unit. The filter is dirty, so that needs to be replaced. Again, oh, this is a video actually. There we go. That's blue flames. That's what we want. This is just talking about this is insulation. The sand is low. Here you can clearly see it's low insulation. That's the location of that unit. So here's some temperature readings on the second floor, and you got a 106. We're looking for between 105 and 115, 120. So we got a 106 here, 110. This is all on the second floor still. I did get a lower reading at one of the registers there on the second floor. There is different type of ducting up there. Some is old style ducting and some new style ducting, so that can affect the temperature of the air flowing. Then this is on the first floor, over 100, 105. So the heating looked to be working pretty well. This is your GFCI for your pool, and it's defective. You can't see it, but I'm pushing the button down on the bottom of this device to get it to trip, and it wouldn't trip. So that GFCI right there needs to be replaced. This is not a very good picture, but below the pool cleaner here is one of your drains, and this type of drain should have what's called an anti-entrapment device. So at the pool and at the spa, you've got these drains that need to be replaced with anti-entrapment type drains. There'll be other comments in the report that the city will likely only require this anti-entrapment device. So there's one there at the pool, and then there's one in the spa right there. Okay, this is the pool equipment. This picture is actually just for me. Both these junction boxes or timer boxes are rusting. You can also see that some of the conduits rusting, so we don't want any kind of rusting things, especially electricity inside. Let's get to this. This motor for the pump for the pool does not work. At one point it came on for a second or two, and then it cycled right back off. So something's up with that pump that goes to the pool. It wasn't working properly. This one right here. Pool cleaner pump seemed fine. This is the heater, pool heater, and it never came on, so I never got it to come on. So something's up with the pool heater that needs to be evaluated and repaired. That's just saying it's the heater. This is showing a little deterioration of the pool's interior surface. This is at the steps. They also have some deterioration at the little spa area. High traffic areas are going to usually have this. So the pool, it's not crucial. You don't need to resurface the pool yet, but it's showing some signs of wear. So something you'll need to think about down the road. Same thing here. And that's at the steps. There is one crack I noticed by the steps, so it needs to be sealed. I don't think it's structurally significant. This is at the pool spa. You can see the deterioration here. So just showing a little deterioration. The pool overall, the construction was fine. It seemed to be stable. Really, the big things are the pool heater and the pool pump. So that is it. If you have any questions, you can contact me 7 days a week. Always best to text me first. You'll get the quickest response, probably 10 or 20 minutes. And then email is probably a half a day, and a voicemail, you may not hear back from me for a long time. So just text or email me. If you have any questions, give me a call. Thanks. Bye.